Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
Karting is a childhood dream of many boys, however, it is not so easy to make it yourself. Kits for the manufacture of karting or ready-made machines are very expensive, and drawings are designed for certain parts that are not always available. After reading this article, you will learn how to make karting with your own hands, where to get parts and materials for it, as well as learn how to make drawings for its manufacture. Where to get materials for karting. If you decide to make karting with your own hands, then first of all you need to determine what materials are available to you. If there is a nearby auto dismantling or a point of reception of black-colored metal, then part of the units can be purchased there. At the auto dismantling you will be able to buy seat, pedals, pedal mounting block, axles, steering wheel, steering shaft, steering knuckles, steering rods, kingpins, master and slave cylinders of disc brakes. All parts, except the seat, can be removed from old Soviet cars. It is desirable to remove the seat from a foreign car, it will be more comfortable. When choosing parts, check their condition, kingpins and knuckles rotate without sticking, brake cylinders without leaks, other parts are not rusty. At the point of reception of ferrous or non-ferrous metal you will be able to buy suitable gears, chains, metal pipes, angles, strips, wheels, motors, bearings. Scheme development. Having selected the necessary materials, you can proceed to the development of the scheme. There is no generally accepted concept of the shape or size of the kart, so everyone builds what he likes best. In most cases, the availability of certain parts becomes the decisive argument. There is a rule: the higher the person, the longer the homemade kart should be, otherwise a tall person will be very uncomfortable in a short car. If you bought a car seat together with skids that provide its movement in the cabin, you can make a long karting with the possibility of adjusting the distance to the pedals. Thanks to this, even stunted people will not have difficulties when driving such a kart. You can use any drawing on the internet as a basis and adapt it to your own materials or units. This is easier than making a drawing from scratch, calculating the strength of the entire structure. When developing the scheme, you need to take into account the peculiarities of fixing the seat to the frame, ways of installing the brake cylinders and the size of the kingpins. Also pay close attention to the method of attaching the steering rods to the handlebar pendulum. On many homemade karts, the steering rods are made of a steel bar with a diameter of 8 to 15 mm, and the swing arm is made of a metal plate with a thickness of 5 to 7 mm. This scheme does not allow you to adjust the wheel alignment, because of which there is a high probability of rapid tire wear. You can weld them together with the tips of steering rods from cars, which will allow you to change the angle of convergence of the wheels, or make something similar yourself. Powertrain and steering. If you could only get the motor from a chainsaw, it will be used to make a drive with one gear. This is not too convenient, because there is no possibility to adjust the ratio of the driving slave pinion, so the torque of the wheels will be the same during acceleration and during constant motion. If you were able to get the power drive of the scooter, the motor from the old Soviet scooter, Muravi, or its analogues, then it will be possible to use its gearbox to increase torque during acceleration. To do this, you will have to install a clutch pedal and a gear selection lever. In the case of a power-driven scooter, these operations are not necessary, because it uses a variator gear. It is convenient to use half axles of rear-wheel drive cars and a steering shaft tip to create steering. The tip is cut, then welded to the axle. After that, the half axle is cut to the desired length and welded to the other end of the steering column pendulum. To the pendulum with a bolt or welding attached steering rods, installing one at the top, the other at the bottom. To prevent the shaft with the steering wheel from chattering, it is secured with two bearings of half axles. To fix the bearings, you can use the standard bushings of semi-axles, which will have to be heated to a temperature of 400 to 500 degrees. Brake mechanisms of a sport bike or moped are easier to install, but it is difficult or expensive to get them. Master and slave cylinders of front brakes from Shigali or Laders can be found at any dismantling. In addition, they will cost very cheap. If the standard brake disc is very large, you will have to use some kind of substitute, a flat gear or flange of the main gear, welded to the semi-axle. Due to the low rotational speed of the half axle, as well as low loads, the flange will last a very long time. For the front axle are well-suited kingpins assembled with a steering knuckle from GAZ21 and GAZ24 cars. But for them it is necessary to install car wheels, at least from Oka. If you have small wheels, then you will have to cut off the bearings of the steering knuckle and kingpins and with the help of welding, make a new assembly to which to attach the hub of the wheels. How to assemble karting with your own hands. Having prepared drawings, units, and small parts necessary to create a karting with your own hands, proceed to assembly. For mounting the frame, it is easiest to use a welding inverter with electrodes with a diameter of 2 to 3 mm. Carefully check each seam. If you do not know how to weld yourself, contact a familiar welder. This will increase costs, but the homemade karting will turn out to be more durable. After finishing the installation of the frame, be sure to treat all the seams with a Bulgarian and a stripping disc, then paint it. When the paint dries, proceed to the installation of the front and rear wheels. During installation of rear wheels it is necessary to weld brake discs, pulley or pinion of the main gear to the semi-axles. Then mount the steering gear. It is very important to make it so that the backlash of the steering wheel does not exceed 5 mm. Otherwise, the homemade karting will throw from side to side. Having coped with the steering, mount the brakes. If you use the brakes from the car, do not forget to connect the cylinders with copper or steel tubes located on top of the frame. Fill with brake fluid and pump. If the tubes are at the bottom, there is a good chance that they will flatten due to hitting a bump, which will cause the brakes to malfunction or fail. If you have brake actuators from scooters or some other small-sized equipment, you will have to be clever. The seat should have good lateral support. Install the seat. This is necessary to check the steering and braking systems. Get in the go-kart and ask a buddy to push you. Check the steering and brakes. If everything is fine, proceed to the installation of the motor and drive. Attach the motor according to the diagram you designed. If you left something out or changed the motor, you will have to improvise. Connect the fuel tank, shut-off button, and gas pedal linkage. Carefully check all of the machine systems. If everything is normal, start it up and take it for a test drive. Remember, you assembled the karting with your own hands, so you cannot drive on the roads on it. In conclusion, building a karting with your own hands is not only a rewarding project but also a fantastic way to learn about mechanics and engineering. By following the steps we've outlined, you can create a custom kart that reflects your personal style and meets your performance needs. Remember to prioritize safety and enjoy the process, as each challenge you overcome will enhance your skills and knowledge. So gather your materials, unleash your creativity, and hit the track with pride in your homemade creation. Happy karting!